Hello, I am Pavel Stehula, and in this presentation I want to show the pager pspg. This pager is designed specially for databases for text terminal clients. Default pager on Linux is more. This pager is designed and optimized for work with text. It is not designed for working with databases. And if you use it with psql, then you can see a lot of problems with displaying more wide content. Uh, Typical example is table pg class. This table has a lot of columns, and you can see the unfriendly and not well readable content. The solution is relatively easy. You can use pagerless. This pager is more modern, and with option S, it can trim or truncate long lines, and you can see readable text now. But there is still problem because if I scroll to some area, I miss column labels and I miss row labels. I designed a new pager pspg. This pager is optimized for using in database clients like psql or mysql. The usage is very simple. Just you can set a system environment variable psql pager to pspg. And now I can run the query with some wider content, like select from pg class, and I can see the result, and now I can scroll, and still I see column labels, and I scroll to right and I see row labels. This is my motivation for using pspg pager. But pspg can do more work. For example, you can search in a result. Uh, and now I see the any lines with the word index. I can iterate in the result, and I can iterate our marked lines. Another possibility of pspg is possibility sort content by some columns. For example, I can use statement \dts plus. This show all system tables in my database with the size. Now the content is sorted by schema name and column name, or pardon, table name, and but I want to see the content sorted by size. I can use I can show vertical cursor, and I can scroll to right, and I can press the key and now the content is sorted by size. All this work can be done by menu. The menu is activated by pressing F 9 or by mouse. For example, I can show uh, vertical column, vertical cursor, pardon. I can click the column size, and I can again activate it sort by menu. Sometimes can be useful to fix more columns than just first two or first one, and pspg can to do this work. For example, a very wide table is pg.activity, and there are some interesting columns like date name, database name, or process ID on the start, and other interesting columns like query is on the end. And pspg can fix to 0 to 10 columns just by pressing the number. For example, now I want to fix first 3 columns, so I press 3, and now I see together the database name and process ID with query. New versions of pspg supports clipboards and supports selection of rows of or columns or blocks. Here I have table with towns from Czech Republic, and I can select some rows by mouse, or can select columns, or I can select block, and I can export this data in some formats or some areas. For example, I can export to clipboard, or I can export to file. The special format LibreOffice TSVC is format for export to LibreOffice Calc without additional conversions. For example, I can use this format, and I can copy selected area, but now I have broken environment because I'm on X window and I'm not on Violent. pspg can be used like TSV or CSV formats viewer or browser. For example, pspg, I use option F. And now I can see CSV document in human readable format. I like Midnight Commander, and pspg can be used like Midnight Commander viewer for some specified formats. You can change in your home directory in point config mcx. You can change configuration. For example, here I map pspg for CSV format, and then I can look on a CSV file in Midnight Commander, and by F3 I can see again CSV document in human readable format. pspg can be used like a very simple database client too. For example, it can be used for some reports or very simple monitoring. Here I run pspg with the query select from table opce limit 10, and I can specify the address of server and database. Now I can see the content of the table, and I can work with the table with the result. And this option the watch I can specify um, refreshing time. For example, I can use query select current timestamp, and the refresh time will be 2 seconds. And now I see the fresh report or fresh result of the query every 2 seconds. It can be very usable for monitoring some changes in the database or monitoring the database. For example, I can monitor the table pgstat database or pgstat activity. Usually, the pagers are not permanent programs. They are used just for displaying one document, but pspg can be permanent. I can assign pspg to file or pipe. With option stream, the pspg will be permanent, like now. And I can run psql, and I can redirect the result or output to pipe. And now I can run some simple query, or I can run some more complex query. And everything works. This possibility is useful because you can see the query and the result of the query together. Without this possibility, when you use pager or pspg or any other in a typical mode, it's not possible to see query and the result together. With pspg, it is possible. There is a possibility to use more terminals, more pipes, and then you can see the result of more queries all time. The watch mode of psql is supported too. For example, I can run the query that show me current timestamp, and now I can use the statement watch, and I can repeat this query every 2 seconds. And on the result you can see, so the content is refreshed every 2 seconds. An installation of pspg is very simple. Just you can run dnf or apt-get install pspg. You can wait just a moment, press yes, and it is almost all, but not all. You can specify using pspg as psql pager by setting the variable psql pager to pspg, and that's all. Source code and documentation is available on GitHub on address okbob pspg. There you can see the documentation, some screenshots, options, and controls. And usually you can see here source code. So that's all, and I hope so you like this software, and I'm looking for your questions. Goodbye.